Hi Lucy, it's Fancy, and I'm afraid that this is not working. First of all, you have a pattern orientation. If we were to divide the composition in half, it would pretty much be a mirror image um, of each other. And symmetry is not what we're shooting for. Symmetry is easy to achieve, and we're looking for successfully balanced designs that are asymmetrical. That's more of a challenge. Also, you said that you have pathways that gradate within, as well as pathway to pathway in a few areas, and then 3 small points of emphasis. So, to start with, you do have the start points of emphasis, um, but there's also maybe points of emphasis with interpenetration. And because the contrast is so great for this one, it does somewhat look like a figure on a ground, except maybe here is helping. These are less contrasting, so these might work a little bit better. But let's tackle the point of emphasis first. So points of emphasis start out light and gradate darker away from themselves. So they start out dark and gradate lighter, or they start out light and gradate darker. So here you've started out darker except for this middle part, and you're gradating across pathways outward. So dark, middle gray, light, back to middle gray, dark again. So you do have some gradations. The next thing you have to ask, are there equal value contrast across these 3 steps? Because we're just using dark, medium, light. And because you're trying to also gradate within the pathway, then in some places the boundaries will seem different. So your value contrast across steps will be different in different parts of the design or different parts of the points of emphasis. So you may not want to do that. What some people do is they'll have at least 3 points of emphasis strategically and asymmetrically balanced in the composition, and then they'll work on the gradations across pathways, and then they might connect them, like connect a path between them for the eye to follow that gradates within that path. As far as the gradations that you have, they're more leaning towards overallness because you have a lot of contrasting areas. Is this step 1 and 2, or is this step 1 and 3? You have this light area here next to this dark area here, so you're not going to be able to achieve gradation there. So your gradations aren't working. They need to, at least in some areas, stretch from dark and smoothly and gradually stretch to light. And yours aren't quite achieving that. So it's like steps 1 and 3, 1 and 3, or maybe this is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then we need to check your scale to make sure that there's not too much of a contrast between step 1 and step 2. And then it jumps here, and maybe turning the corner here. So there's just not a very fluid gradation. Here it starts light. This is a big jump here. And then I'm not really sure where it goes from here. So the pathways are, I'm not sure as well. A little unclear on that. This one just has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you remember we mentioned that if you just go down the scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you're going to get a lot of overallness. So sometimes you do that, and then sometimes they're just kind of the same for longer stretches. They need to be a little bit more intermingled. Also, if you're trying to create a similarity grouping, these two are similarly treated. They look like squares while this is a diamond shape. So you do have lots of things that you need to work on, and I'll try to keep close by in case you're able to post again.